Bonnie's Insider is brought to you by Universal Primary Care, providing care to the entire family.
Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Bonnie's Insider, brought to you by Universal Primary Care. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Tommy Valentine. Throughout the course of the show this year, we have highlighted some of the great things being done in the community by our athletic teams and our individual student athletes here at St. Bonaventure during the coronavirus pandemic. What is so impressive about those stories is that even though live sports have been halted during these challenging times, the drive to make an impact off the field has not wavered in our student athletes. And we'll see that on a full display coming up later in the show when we meet with members of the men's lacrosse team to hear about their efforts raising money for cancer research. And of course, we can't forget about Coach's Corner as well, with snow in the forecast for later this week. A break in the action with our men's golf team gave us the chance to catch up with their head coach, Ryan Swanson. And this week's show kicks off with the top brass. Tim Kenney provides some insight on basketball scheduling and offers an update on the COVID-19 situation on campus in this week's installment of From the AD's Office.
All the protocols we worked on all throughout the spring and the summer, and even still now, they adjust. We learn certain things, we get more guidance, have been working. While there's been an uptick in Cattaraugus County, that uptick's not here on this campus. We've had very minimal, and the ones that we've had, our protocols have been put into place that have maintained it. They've contained the virus spread. So we've been very good, not only athletics, but the whole campus. All the hard work we've put in so far has mitigated any spread. And we're very, very pleased. And that's a team effort. That's not just because of the protocols. That's not just because of administrators or faculty. It's because of the students too. They've bought in, they understand it, they know you got to wear your masks and wash your hands and be responsible because they want to be here. And I think that's really, really important. And I think that driving factor is everyone wants to be here. I want to be here. You want to be here. We all want to be on this campus, and we got to do what we can to do that. And so far, we couldn't be more pleased. We've done a tremendous job. It's not easy. We understand it. It's a little different than what everyone's used to. But we also think the more we're able to do it and focus on it, the sooner this will end, and we'll be able to get back to more normalcy. We're watching what's going on right now, and while we have done a really great job right here, it's ramping up throughout the country, which means it's going to sneak around here. We're not out of the woods yet. You know, we have to stay vigilant, and part of our plan is to combat what we call COVID fatigue. You see people wearing masks, just say, thanks, guys, you're doing a great job. Those small things go a long way. And so far, that message has continued to go. But we do know we've got till November 25th. Can we get to that point and say we provided an in-person experience on this campus? Our student athletes have been able to practice and train like they normally do. So far, it's been great, but we really, really, really need to be careful and be vigilant in what we're doing. When it comes to basketball scheduling, I kind of equate it to this. You ever done a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle and you lay it all out there and you're like, oh boy, how are we going to make this work? Well, multiply that by 10 at this point. Perfect example, we're playing Team A, but then Team A's conferences are not allowing anything outside of conference. So that game goes away. Or conferences expand and then the inventory gets less. Normally when you're putting a basketball schedule together, you're putting it together to fit what your team is going to be, whether it's an NCAA aspirations, being top in the conference, you got a young team. We have a more experienced team, so we're trying to look at it from that standpoint of giving us the best opportunity to get to the tournament. We've had to blow a lot of things up. Some of it's not in our control, and you hear a lot of this. You hear it around the country. So we're looking to try and get to that 7, 8, 9 game at a conference window if it makes sense and works. On top of that, you're trying to balance safety. You don't want to be irresponsible to just go off and playing games. And, you know, if you got to fly across country to play a game, is that really smart? In this day and age, right now, no. The good news is our colleagues regionally, we all get it and we're trying to work it out. So hopefully we'll have some answers soon. Will we have a schedule? Yes. What it's going to be? We're not sure yet. But we do have a lot already on the plate to see what fits and what works. We just finished up with our fall athletic director meetings for the Atlantic 10. And obviously the basketball scheduling is a major part of what we're talking about. Things we've talked about was expanding the footprint of the season to allow for makeup games. The biggest challenge is basketball's got a smaller close contact. Everybody's together. You're not broken up in different groups. Realistically, if a team has to quarantine, whether they have it or direct contact tracing, that's 2 weeks right now as it stands, plus another week of reacclimating the student athletes back into competition. And then you need a few days to actually practice normally for a game. So you're talking 3 to 3.5 weeks if a team is out. So we, as the conference, are looking at this going, well, what happens if this happens? We can't be naive to think that it's not going to happen with basketball. What does that mean? How does that fit in, and how do you make a conference season that's viable and works? Extending the conference season, looking at being flexible and placing games in December, possibly, kind of having some communal bye weeks where we can have makeup games if necessary. Those are all a lot of the things there. Things could change again where all of a sudden we might have to say we can only play conference games. Everything's going to be on the table, and it's going to be dictated by some stuff that's not in our control. So what we're trying to do is have plan A, B, C, all the way through Z, so we could pivot and hit it the minute we have to make another decision quickly. In terms of basketball with us, the Bonnies this year, right now we're going on the notion that we're not going to have fans in here. So what we're trying to do is set up the game day atmosphere so when people are watching it on ESPN Plus or on television, they get a good feel for what's going on. They get a still feel for the game right now. So there'll be some changes. Right now it's flipping the benches to the other side of the RC court to spread them out, like you saw with the NBA, where they had different rows. We're not unique in a sense of challenges. Every arena has these challenges. Even big ones can't sometimes spread the floor out. So there's going to be a lot of different changes when we're looking at how the game day goes, but we plan to have it, and we plan to have people experience Bonnie's basketball in one way or another, and it will be great.
And we appreciate Tim Kenney taking some time out of his busy schedule to meet with us. Hard to believe the start of the basketball regular season is already less than a month away, and hopes are high for this season, especially after that encouraging coronavirus report. We're going to step aside here on Bonnie's Insider, but after the break, you've heard of basketball's March Madness, but have you heard of lacrosse's Mustache Madness? You're going to want to see this. You're watching Bonnie's Insider, brought to you by UPC.
Schultz is always at your service, ensuring your vehicle gets the maintenance it requires. Now, with modern, touchless options across the entire auto care experience. Speak with a service advisor on the phone or at one of our newly envisioned service centers. Pay invoices online or via mobile app. And drive home in confidence, knowing Schultz only permits limited personnel access to your vehicle. Exceeding expectations is our mission. That's why the next generation of auto care is already here at Schultz.
Away from campus? No problem. You can follow Go Bonnies wherever you are on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Keep up with all your favorite squads. And don't forget to use the hashtag Unfurl.
What's the best way to pick the right college? Use your head and make a practical choice based on cost and academics? Or follow your heart to a place that just feels right? At St. Bonaventure, you can do both. Here, you'll join a unique community that celebrates individuality, meet professors as passionate about people as they are about learning, and form lifelong connections without a lifetime of debt. Come see for yourself why St. Bonaventure isn't just a special place, it's a smart choice.
Welcome back to Bonnie's Insider, brought to you by UPC. No Shave November, or Movember as it's often referred to, is a great way for people to get involved in raising awareness of men's health issues. But our men's lacrosse team is taking things a step further, and even a month further, going from No Shave November to a 2-month Mustache Madness event. What began last year as a modest effort to raise money for cancer research, Lacrosse Mustache Madness has blossomed into so much more.
The Headstrong Foundation was started, it was probably 15 years ago or so, after the passing of Nick Calalori, who was a lacrosse player at Hofstra, and his family started this foundation to help families affected by cancer. We joined this last year just as an organic kind of thing, hey guys, do you want to do this? Do we want to raise money and help affect change in the lives of others? And it completely blew up. Our original goal was $5,000. We raised that in, I think, 24 or 36 hours. There's a lot of other places that I've been where I've tried this is, we'll get, right around 5,000 by the end of the thing, and so to raise it in 24 hours, it was incredible. And again, so it just had to keep raising that bar even higher.
Being a newer team, it was fun to get our names out there and actually make an impact. Being able to be in the top 4 teams for that it shows a lot of character on our guys and as our team and even as our community.
Knowing that we're a part of something bigger in lacrosse is definitely special. It definitely rallies the team together. At the same time, it's like a fun little competition, see who can raise the most. And nationally, we did really well last year, so that was definitely exciting and something to be proud of.
Just an incredible thing to be able to have all these different guys on our team share their stories of family members, friends affected by cancer, and then further, even just almost a spidering or webbing effect where constant relationships, even further, of friends, family members, distant family that have been affected by cancer. And so it was a really good opportunity for our guys, one, to give back to the community, but also just to be empathetic with a lot of people out there who are just going through such massive struggles.
Every single person has been touched by cancer, and last year actually, my family close, my brother was actually diagnosed with leukemia, so that was just like a closer touch to me, and basically kind of gave us, like, not just myself, but a lot of people on the team, incentive to kind of pursue this and kind of win and do as much as we could.
A couple weeks ago, one of my high school teammates, he just passed away from cancer. So, like, now it's a little more personal, where, like, I want to, like, go even above and beyond from what we did last year.
Giving back to people who don't get the opportunity that we do and, are kind of battling cancer every day. I think that's something important. Just kind of hits home to me a lot. My best friend back home lost his brother due to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Taking part of this is huge, especially with the Headstrong Foundation. A tough look with the bald head, but at the end of the day, it was for a great cause, and I can't complain once I attain my goals. I'm kind of doing what people who battle cancer every day go through, and I was able to do that as well. So I kind of felt, that was good to do, and I felt like moving forward, it was kind of unique, and hopefully I'll be able to do it again this year.
It's just very at home for a number of guys, and I think that they use this opportunity just to raise that money and see, maybe if someone else is in the position that their friends were in. That's an incredible opportunity. And now with COVID and all the different regulations and protocols, just the massive impact that this can have on people that are already immunocompromised.
You always get told, like, how close the lacrosse community is, but just, you don't really see it until things like this, like the whole Headstrong thing, like the whole website and everything. You can see who's donating how much, and like how close-knit everyone is, and like you expect only your family members and your teammates to donate, but just seeing how broad the circle goes out, and you see people that coached you when you were like 5 years old to 10 years old, like you haven't seen for 10 years, donating money. Like everyone from everywhere is just putting in effort and doing what they can.
The goal for us this year is at the low point 15,000, because we raised just short of 15 last year, so 15 is the floor for us, and then hopefully we eclipse that by far, and then we'll raise it again. And so I think we just want to turn this into the opportunity to get as competitive as we can, raise more money than we do for ourselves each year. I think that's an incredible goal for us to set for ourselves. And each of our guys has his own donation page, and our team has its own page as well. So we'll be able to share that link with everybody that does it. And even if you go to Lax-Madness, search that up online, or headstrong.org, it'll be able to pull up our team page as search St. Bonaventure Lacrosse. And any donation is helpful. Anything small or large, whatever it is. We just want to be able to help people that are affected by cancer.
Certainly not the prettiest set of stashes on that team, but it's all for a great cause. The Bonnie's fundraiser runs through the end of November. To donate, please visit pledge.headstrong.org. Coming up next on Bonnie's Insider, head men's golf coach Ryan Swanson steps off the links and into the coach's corner. You're watching Bonnie's Insider, brought to you by UPC.
Everybody knows how important the BAF is to our athletic programs. Without it, we couldn't exist. The record was 1,358 BAF members. We're trying to break that record. We're trying to get it to 2021. Bonnies have never stepped back from a challenge. This is a challenge this year, and I know we'll be successful.
We need that support right now, especially not knowing where maybe some of our budget dollars might come from. We've been able to take care of our girls and be able to do the things we need to do to be able to grow our program based on those external resources, and we really appreciate that support.
We wouldn't be here without all of our supporters, trust me. They know how important they are to us. Without the help of people like our boosters and our friends and our families supporting our program, we don't move forward. And it's been them that's moved us forward over the years.
The only way we're going to be able to continue to support this is by you, the Bonaventure friends and alumni, helping us out during this mission 2021.
Support going forwards for 2021 is going to be crucial to our continued success and keeping our program upright.
We're hoping our alums, our families are helping us out so we can make the season normal for a lot of our players and families as well.
You know, whether it's alumni, whether it's donors local through the community, parents, friends of programs, it's crucial for all of our sports to raise and use those resources to provide the experience that we're hoping to here at St. Bonaventure.
Our student athletes here at St. Bonaventure are coming to try to do some pretty special things, and we want to provide them with every tool, every resource that we can. It's essential for the support from donors, from parents, from sponsors to buy into something that we're doing that's real and makes a difference in young people's lives.
Their experience here, their 4 years here, has improved significantly, and the big part of that is those kind of external donations.
We rely really heavily on our donor base. Anything they can help out and give back to the program is great.
The Bonaventure Athletic Fund has been a big part of our success, and we hope you in the 2021 campaign will continue to support that.
Join your fellow Bonnies and help push the BAF membership to 2,021 members.
Help push the BAF to 2,021 members.
Please support BAF Mission 2021.
On behalf of our 375 student athletes, thank you for supporting the Bonnie's Athletic Fund Mission 2021. Go Bonnies.
Thanks for sticking around with us here on Bonnie's Insider, brought to you by UPC. As a Bonaventure undergraduate, Ryan Swanson led the Bonnie's golf team to some of its best seasons in program history. The 2008 grad returned to his alma mater as head coach in 2016 and has cemented the Bonnies as the top collegiate golf program in Western New York. In this week's Coach's Corner, Swanson tells us about the excitement his team has for a potential rise to the top of the Atlantic 10 when tournaments resume in the spring.
We've been trying to focus on golf as much as we can and control what we can, but these guys have a lot more going on right now. Trying to keep them in check, first and foremost, so they can stay healthy, and second, and go to class. They've had to be really strict with themselves, control what they are doing, off the golf course. We have a pretty tight-knit team that they like to hang out. They like to, on weekends get together. It's been tough to tell them to kind of stay apart a little bit, but they've done a really good job. I couldn't be more proud of them. We've made it through 2 months here almost, and we're on the tail end of the semester. We've had a series of qualifiers, so to speak, throughout the fall. I kind of spread them out. I wanted to see who was playing well over a long period of time. Like we do in a normal fall season, we have tournaments spread out over 5 or 6 weeks. So far, the guys there's a little rust shown here or there, but at the same time, they're still practicing hard. They're working their tails off in the weight room. They're as good as ever. Our expectations are always high. We expect a lot of the guys as we go towards the end of April. We have a lot of experience coming back with those 3 seniors primarily, Jack and Danny and Christian. We got some really good experience last year out of our freshmen. Lance is playing really well right now. Eric is a junior, is playing really well, and our freshman Jude is playing really well. So we're building a very good foundation, but at any moment, golf's a funny game, and we can have one of those other guys step up and fight for a lineup spot. I think we have our base guys that are gonna be our main contributors, but we still need 5-6 guys that are playing really well for us to feel comfortable to make a run for an Atlantic 10 title. Yeah, I love this program and the team, and I try to model it the same way that Steve Campbell did for his tenure. We want a tight-knit group of guys. We want guys that are going to represent us really well on the course and off. We want guys that are good in the classroom, and guys that are going to, when they graduate here, they're going to look back at their time and want to come back for a basketball game and want to come back and catch up with myself or my assistant and meet up and watch a game. We're building that here, and it's super important to us as coaches. As a whole, we want to keep everybody involved for as long as we can, even after they leave here. It's been great that we've been able to practice and kind of go about our schedule as normally as we could, and it's been okay. But not being able to compete has kind of been frustrating a little bit for the guys. They've got through it well. I mean, we're going on 7 months without competition now. A lot of their summer stuff that they normally play in was wiped out. And them seeing that, I think, was a bit frustrating. They've handled it well. But yeah, we're certainly better off than a lot of the sports that play inside or have bigger teams where it's almost impossible to socially distance. Out here, people go play golf too socially distant. So it's good for us. It's been all right. I'm really looking forward to getting back in the van with the guys and getting into some warmer weather in the spring and teeing it up and competing. I know they're anxious. We're as excited as they are to get back out and compete.
Swanson's name is plastered all over the Bonnie's golf record book, but he better be careful. At the rate his team is currently headed, he might have a few players knocking him down a peg or two in the near future. Well, this weekend we turn the calendars over to November, which of course means it's Halloween time once again. To get in the spirit of the holiday and maybe give you a few ideas for this weekend, let's hear some of the favorite all-time Halloween costumes from our student athletes and coaches.
have a couple. I think one of my first one that I kind of enjoyed when I was younger was a Buzz Lightyear one. Just because my grandma, who recently passed away, made it for me, and I felt like that was kind of something that, hit home with me, and she made my costumes every year. But more recent, I think one of my favorite ones was my freshman year here. Myself and Key and Collins, we were cops on Halloween, so that was pretty fun.
I dressed up as Scream, like the character from like Scary Movie, because when I was younger, Scary Movie was like one of my favorite movies.
Fiona from Shrek. At the time when I was younger, it was just my favorite movie to watch, so I just decided to wear it.
Super Troopers. When I was younger with my buddies, Super Troopers came out and we were obsessed with that movie when we were younger, so we all just went as state troopers, and I think it was pretty bad costumes, but we tried to make it as best we could, and it was just fun just being with my best friends going around.
My favorite Halloween costume was my 8th grade year, and I was a Ninja Turtle with 3 of my friends.
I would have to say Batgirl. That was my favorite costume.
Sadly, I never really participated in like Halloween activities, so I actually don't have a favorite costume because I never was able to wear a costume.
So I'm from Colorado and grew up on a ranch and whatnot. So when I was little, I used to go for Halloween as like a cowboy or a bull rider or a rodeo clown. And people always were like, oh, that's such a cool costume. But it's just something that like I have in my closet. Like it's nothing new to me. It's like, oh, well, I'll just put this on. Everybody thinks it's a costume and I can be comfortable in it.
Some classic costume ideas right there. I might even have to steal one of those for myself this weekend. And of course, we'd like to wish everyone a happy and safe Halloween weekend. That wraps up Bonnie's Insider for the week. But before we sign off, let's get a look at what's in store for next week. Bonnie's Insider is moving to the hardwood for next week's show, as perhaps the most famous St. Bonaventure alum of all time, Adrian Woj-Warjanowski, drops by for our Alumni Spotlight. A pair of student athletes put their media skills to the test by getting involved in the world of podcasting, and we'll be checking in on our basketball teams to find out how they're faring so far this offseason. As always, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. Join us again next week when Bonnie's Insider returns. I'm Tommy Valentine. So long, and thanks for watching.
Bonnie's Insider has been brought to you by Universal Primary Care, providing